Confused Matthew once said that the 2011 film Thor was just an excuse to cash in on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that it was unnecessary and that you could have easily introduced Thor and Loki in the Avengers movie. Well, I'm here to say this. He's not entirely wrong on that part, no. But I'd be lying if I said that this film was not entertaining, which it is. Chris Hemsworth plays the mighty Thor. Now you probably know, or don't know, or just about to know, he is not the first actor to play the title character. No. In 1988, Eric Allen Kramer, who is probably best remembered from the hit show Good Luck Charlie, played Thor in the TV movie titled The Incredible Hulk Returns. The character was basically brought in not for the sake of the story, just to introduce him and possibly give him his own spin-off, which you probably know did not happen. Now, Thor is about to be knighted king of Asgard by his father Odin, played by Sir Anthony Hopkins. But Odin is disgusted by Thor's ignorance for nearly starting a war with the Frost Giants. So Odin banishes Thor to Earth, which Thor is forced to live as a mortal man. He keeps running into Jane Foster, a scientist played by Natalie Portman, and her two assistants played by Stellan Skarsgård and Kat Dennings. Meanwhile, Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, discovers where he actually came from, and he plots a secret mission of revenge on his brother Thor. Will Thor get his powers back and beat Loki at his own game and save Asgard? Well, for some of you who probably have seen this movie, you probably already know that answer. But if you haven't, you're going to have to see the movie to find out. I gotta say, this movie was quite entertaining. It was. The special effects were good. And it's not just the effects that really make this movie, it's the acting. I mean, especially acting scenes with Anthony Hopkins. I mean, you think that that anybody would be intimidated by his intensity, which he brings to a lot of his performances. I could tell even at times Jodie Foster and Julianne Moore were intimidated by him when they acted with him. But surprisingly, Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston weren't. They were able to hold their own with him, which is really amazing to do. I really liked Tom Hiddleston's performance. He really shows a more... I mean, he is definitely a bad guy and pretty despicable in spots, but other spots he shows he could be quite sympathetic. You get the feeling Loki never really... Even though he was treated like everybody else, he never felt truly accepted. So that's why it appears he has such hatred for his brother Thor. And Chris Hemsworth was as good as Thor also. I mean, he really embodies the character perfectly. I mean, he plays it with such a mighty, larger than life presence. Which I thought was real good. They basically went the Superman route, finding an unknown actor. Like Christopher Reeve was unknown before he played Superman. So was Chris Hemsworth. I mean, I never really heard of Chris Hemsworth before this movie. Okay. Yeah, I'd be a mistake because I did see him in the Star Trek movie, 2009 Star Trek, which he played James Kirk's father. But he was only in it for the first 5 minutes. Natalie Portman was good as Jane Foster, not playing the typical love interest. She really plays more of a fleshed out character. And this is her second film that she was in based on a comic book. At least in this film, she didn't have to shave her head. Idris Elba was good, and so was Anthony Hopkins. I mean, I could just tell that that Kenneth Branagh who directed this movie, being a Shakespearean director, really put a lot of Shakespearean elements in his actors. I mean, you could just see it the way they just really, really, you could just see it in their performances. I also like the humorous parts of the movie. And a little bit in the middle, it sort of becomes like a Third Rock from the Sun type of thing, humor style. You know, like this guy from another world has trouble adjusting to earthly customs. But no point does the humorous moments ever overshadow the rest of the film. No, they're there, but they never feel once that it's really taken over the film. Not like Transformers 2: Revenge of the Fallen did. That movie, I hate that movie. But this movie was good. I mean, I liked all the actors. They really played their parts well. So I got to give Thor a 9 out of a possible 10. Have a good one.